The dust rolled low across the plains like a living thing, curling around the hooves of Eli Mercer's horse as he rode back toward the ranch. Evening light bled across the sky, copper and crimson, the sun sinking slow behind a line of distant mesas. This land had taught him patience and punishment. 20 years carving a life out of hard soil and harder choices had left him quiet, watchful and worn in ways no mirror could show. The Mercer Ranch rose ahead, wide fencing, weathered barns, and a house built sturdy enough to outlast grief. Eli swung down from the saddle and loosened the cinch, his shoulders tight. Something felt wrong. The air carried it. That prickle a man got before trouble stepped out of the shadows. He heard voices, not ranch hands, not familiar. He moved slow, one hand resting near his revolver, boots whispering against dirt as he rounded the barn. That's when he saw them, 3 men, city-cut coats dusty from travel, and between them, a woman. She stood straight despite the rope bruising her wrists. Her dress was plain, but torn at the hem, dust clinging to dark fabric. Her face, pale beneath the grime, was set in defiance, though fear flickered behind her eyes. One of the men turned, smiled. "Evening, Mr. Mercer," the man said, tipping his hat like they were old friends. "Name's Caldwell. We've got business." Eli didn't lower his hand. "You're trespassing." Caldwell chuckled. "That we are. But we figured a man like you appreciates clear transactions." He nodded toward the woman. Eli's jaw tightened. "Untie her. She's part of the deal." "What deal?" Caldwell stepped closer, boots crunching. "You pay us. She's yours. No questions, no trouble. We disappear." The woman finally spoke, her voice steady but low. "You paid for me. Now do it." The words struck harder than any fist. Eli turned to her sharply. She met his gaze, not pleading, not begging, challenging, like she'd already decided what kind of man he was, and was daring him to prove her wrong. "I didn't agree to anything," Eli said. Caldwell shrugged. "You will. Sheriff's 2 days east. Folks around here don't ask questions when money talks." Eli looked again at the woman. Bruised wrists, dry lips, eyes that carried more story than she was letting on. "What's your name?" he asked her. She hesitated. "Clara." That was all she gave him. Eli reached into his coat slowly. Caldwell's men tensed. He pulled out a small leather pouch and tossed it at Caldwell's feet. The coin spilled, silver flashing in the dying light. "Untie her," Eli said coldly. "Then leave." Caldwell laughed, but he bent down, satisfied. "Pleasure doing business." The ropes fell. Clara staggered. Eli caught her arm before she hit the dirt. For a moment they stood close. Too close. He smelled dust and rain and something stubbornly alive. "You shouldn't have done that," she whispered. "I know." The men mounted up and rode off, dust swallowing them whole. Silence returned, heavy, uneasy. Eli released her arm. "You're safe here. For now." She studied him. "You don't know what you just bought." Eli's eyes darkened. "I didn't buy a thing." She gave a thin smile. "That's where you're wrong." From the house porch, a door creaked. A woman's voice cut through the dusk. "Eli?" His blood ran cold. Mary stepped out, his wife alive, watching. Her eyes locked on Clara. Everything changed. Morning crept over the plains like a guilty thing, pale light brushing the ranch without warmth. Eli hadn't slept. Neither had Clara. Mary noticed everything, the way. Clara kept her back to the wall. The way Eli avoided his wife's eyes. The way silence sat heavier than words. Breakfast was untouched. Mary finally spoke. "You brought trouble home, Eli." Clara lifted her chin. I didn't ask to be brought. Eli exhaled slowly. Enough. Clara stays until I know who's hunting her. Mary's gaze hardened. And then what? No one answered. By noon, the wind carried riders. 3 silhouettes cut across the horizon, not Caldwell's men, but worse. Black dusters, rifles slung loose. The lead rider bore a scar that split his mouth into a permanent grin. Jonah Rourke. Eli felt the past rise like bile. Rourke dismounted, slow, deliberate, eyes locking on Clara as if she were property misplaced. There you are, Rourke said. You run far, girl. Not far enough. Clara didn't flinch. You don't own me, Rourke laughed. Everyone's owned by something. Eli stepped forward. You're on my land. Rourke's smile widened. Then I'll be brief. Hand her over, or I take her. Mary watched Eli now, really watched. The ranch, the woman, the gun in his hand. Eli made his choice. He cocked the revolver. You leave, he said, now. The air snapped tight. Rourke studied him, then nodded slowly. Sunset, he said. I'll be back, with more men. The riders turned, dust swallowing them again. Clara's voice shook for the first time. They won't stop. Eli stared out at the plains. Neither will I. Mary said nothing, but the distance between her and Eli had never felt wider.